All right, let's dive into something really interesting today. We're going to deconstruct a high-stakes 90-day sprint for executives who find themselves at a major career crossroads. Now, this isn't just about polishing up a resume and finding a new gig. No, this is about engineering a transition. And we're going to do it through the lens of a powerful model called Done With You. It's this cool hybrid where an expert gives you the playbook, but you're the one on the field making the plays. So I want you to picture this for a second. A top executive, someone whose schedule is usually packed wall to wall, minute by minute, with huge decisions, and then suddenly they're staring at an empty calendar. Nothing. This is more than just a little time off. It's a genuine systemic shock. That sudden quiet, the lack of emails, the absence of problems to solve, it can create this massive void, a real crisis of identity. So, the big question is, what do you do with that? How do you take that abrupt, jarring stop and transform it into a forward-moving strategic project? How do you reframe what feels like a personal failure into a deliberate opportunity for something even better? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down. And the answer really lies in a structured 90-day program. Now, this isn't a done-for-you service where you just hand over your resume and wait for a call. And it's definitely not a do-it-yourself course where you're left alone with a bunch of videos. This is the done-with-you model. An expert provides the proven framework, the tools, the strategy, but it's the executive who does the hard work to turn a transition that happened to them into a path that they actively choose. So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at that initial shock. Then, we'll dive into the 3 core phases of the 90-day sprint: building your foundation, mastering your personal story, and then finally, conquering the market. And we'll wrap up with what happens after you get that offer, because the game's not over yet. Okay, so to really get why this approach works so well, you kind of have to understand where it came from. The way we support executives in transition today, well, it's a whole different world. It's not just about outplacement anymore. It's evolved into this really sophisticated form of career engineering. And you can see that whole evolution right here on this timeline. I mean, it started back in the 70s as just a basic technical service, but look at it now. Today, it's a completely holistic process. We're talking performance coaching, personal branding, and, this is key, strategically accessing the hidden job market. So, where does this all begin? Well, the first 30 days are all about deep internal work. You can't build a new future without understanding your past, right? So this phase is a guided mission to deconstruct your career and build a rock-solid, authentic foundation to build on. I love this phrase. In this first phase, the expert acts as a career decoder. Think about that. Their job is to help the executive look back at their own history, not just as a list of job titles, but to really decode their biggest wins, find the patterns, and identify those core skills that make them valuable, no matter what industry they're in. And what's so cool here is how structured and data-driven it is. This isn't just about, what do you feel passionate about? No, we're talking about using real tools, psychometric tests, 360-degree reviews, deep analysis of actual achievements to build an objective, crystal-clear picture of what that executive's unique strengths are. Okay, once that solid internal foundation is locked in, the next 30 days are all about shifting the focus outward. It's time to move from self-discovery to, well, self-marketing. It's about learning how to articulate all that newfound clarity in a way that the market understands and values. And right at the heart of this phase is the value proposition. This is absolutely critical. It's the simple, powerful answer to one question. What strategic problem am I uniquely qualified to solve? Getting this right changes everything. It stops you from wasting time on dead-end opportunities and immediately positions you as a solution, not just another person looking for a job. So this is where you take a simple CV and you transform it into a powerful personal brand. We're talking about crafting a compelling career story, absolutely nailing a 2-minute pitch, and of course, optimizing your LinkedIn profile with the exact keywords that headhunters are typing into their search bars every single day. And now for the final 30-day sprint. You've got your foundation, you've got your story, now it's go time. This is the action phase where all that preparation gets put into practice and you strategically go out and conquer the market. This idea of a psychological sparring partner is just perfect. That tight 90-day timeline creates this positive pressure. It keeps you focused, it keeps the momentum going, and it prevents that sense of loneliness and isolation that can so easily kill a job search when you're doing it all on your own. Now this chart, this tells you everything you need to know about the strategy. Just look at how ineffective public job postings are. The simple truth is the vast majority of top executive jobs are never, ever advertised. They're filled through what's called the hidden market, and the only way in is through your personal network and executive search firms. And when you're talking to that hidden market, you have to make this essential mindset shift. A headhunter's job is not to find you a job. Let me repeat that. Their job is not to find you a job. Their job is to solve their client's problem. Your entire task is to position yourself as the clear, obvious, undeniable solution to that problem. But hold on, we're not done yet. Getting the offer is a huge milestone, but it is not the finish line. The final, and arguably one of the most critical stages, is navigating the very complex negotiation, and then making sure you have a successful start in that new role. See, at this level, the negotiation is about so much more than just the base salary. That's just one piece of the puzzle. The real conversation is about the total compensation package, the bonuses, the benefits, and especially the long-term incentives that tie your success directly to the company's performance. And that package can include all sorts of complex instruments, annual bonuses, stock options, even things like phantom shares and pre-negotiated severance packages. I mean, this stuff gets complicated fast, and navigating it is exactly where that expert done-with-you guidance becomes absolutely priceless. And finally, remember that success isn't just about signing the contract. The first 90 days in a new executive role are incredibly decisive. That's why the support often continues right through the onboarding phase, helping you score those crucial quick wins and navigate the new culture to set yourself up for long-term success. So after all that, you might be wondering, does this highly structured approach really work? Well, this number pretty much says it all. Executives who go through a structured program like this reduce the time it takes to find a new role by 30 to 50%. That's a huge testament to the power of engineering your transition instead of just letting it happen. So when you boil it all down, success in this process really rests on these three pillars. You need a proven methodology for your story and your network. You need tailored psychological support to stay resilient, and you need a long-term vision that goes way beyond just landing the job. Which leaves us with one final thought to take with you. The next time you face a career crossroads, what are you going to see? A crisis that you have to endure, or a strategic opportunity that you get to engineer? Because honestly, how you choose to see it, that makes all the difference in the world.